Hey guys, XJ here. So today I'm going to explain the contents of the iRacing paint template. So let's get started. If this is your first time to the channel, I'm XJ. I cover sim racing topics and golf club repair. If you're interested in either of those two topics, please consider hitting that subscribe button and check out the videos on the channel. So today for this example, we're going to use the 1987 NASCAR Monte Carlo. Now, how do I know that that's this file? Well, if you followed the tips from the other video, you're going to know the naming convention does not always align with what the car is, nor completely identify it. So if you haven't watched that video regarding template downloads, you might want to check that out. So let's go ahead and open up this file. And this is just the base file, but this will also work in other programs. When you open the file, you'll notice three folders here to the lower right: Custom Spec Map, Turn Off Before Exporting TGA, and Paintable Area. Let's talk about the Paintable Area first. Right now, you're just seeing the base template and a base color blue. But if you will open this folder, you will see the the car decal, You'll see the helmet base. You'll see the color change copy, which will vary from car to car. And you'll see the color change bits. It doesn't look like this is doing anything for this car, but it will for some. Others it won't do much, or if anything at all. All of these are adjustable should you choose. Just keep in mind that these are the base stickers. If you make changes here and then save your paint and upload it to iRacing, those changes will be in the game. So if you don't like stickers, turn them off. When you save your paint, the stickers won't load in. The other folder, and this is something that a lot of people don't know about, and I anticipate that most people watching this video are beginners, but the car patterns. You have a baseline that you can start with to change and make your custom paints right now. If you'll open this folder, you'll see all of these patterns that are below. And all of these patterns you can manipulate to your liking to create your own custom paint. Usually, iRacing does include some stock paints like this for most of their cars. But you can turn that off or you can use it. You can't really change this file a lot, but I imagine if you're good with Photoshop, there's a lot of things that you could do with it. Let's turn it off for now. The ones that I really want to show you are these main paint templates here. It varies with how many and design by the car and what's available inside of iRacing. But this will allow you to immediately start painting if you're just beginning in iRacing. You'll notice that they all are red, blue, green. So there's two reasons. One, you can use color range, to select the color, the green, the red, whatever it is. Select the blue on this one. Click OK. Go to Edit, Fill, select Color, choose your color. We'll choose something bright so that you know that I definitely changed it. Hit OK, and the color's already changed on the car for that pattern. Very convenient. The second reason for this is if you are accustomed to using the RGB channels, you can get much more precise using these and creating a new layer. Now, I'm not going to get into that in this video. We'll talk about that in later videos regarding techniques on how to paint the car. But just know, those are a couple of great options. Keep in mind, the base layer is always there, unless you turn it off, of course. And you don't necessarily have to have it either if you've got another paint already selected in this file, as you can see. But depending on what you're doing, you might need that base layer. So let's close up this paintable area folder. Let's talk about this middle folder. Turn off before exporting TGA. And that is what you simply need to remember. This folder has some items in here that are helpful for you when you're painting, such as the sponsors block and giving recommendations on where they should go on the car. The number block, which will show you where the numbers will be stamped onto the car or where you can place your custom numbers. Car mandatory, and this will vary from car to car on what mandatory stamps will always be placed on the car regardless. You've also got a mask in here, so as you can see the outline and body parts of the car. And then another key feature is this wire frame. And the wire diagram allows you to really see the contours of the car when you're painting. Now, there is one little tip that you should know about the wireframe. You can change the color of this wireframe. It's white right now, but let's say you're working on a car that is solid white. There. If you'll scroll in, you'll notice you can't really see the wireframe at all. This could pose a problem when you're painting the car, knowing where the boundaries are within the wire and where you're trying to place your items. So what you can do with that wire is use a color overlay effects, color overlay, and well, you know what, we'll go with the red. And now you can see that we can completely see the wire on that white car. So keep that in mind as far as a tip. Always remember to turn this off when you export your final file that you're going to upload to Trading Paints or place inside of your iRacing paint folder. The reason you want to do that is a couple. One, in case you've got the wire frame on, that way it will not be stamped all over your car. You know, I'm sure you see that on occasion, people with paints with a wire frame stamped on it. Second, you don't want any potential double stamping if something got slightly off or moved that was in this folder that may come into play, such as the car mandatory, which will be stamped on by iRacing. So just always be in the habit of turning that off so that you know exactly what you're getting as a clean image. Now the final folder, turn this on just so it's easier on the eyes. The final folder is the custom Spec Map folder, and I will have a detailed video for this coming up later too. This is more graduate level painting, unless you are familiar with how the Spec Map works. If you are, you're likely not watching this video, but keep in mind inside the Spec folder you have a red channel metallic and a green channel. It's listed as roughness. Between these two channels, it will allow you to manipulate the paint and stickers or anything else on the car that you have painted on to give it different textures, being a shiny metallic finish, or it might be a chrome finish, or it could be a matte or plastic type finish. But these two files will allow you to manipulate that on the car. This is also a separate file that has to be saved inside of the iRacing folder or uploaded to Trading Paints as a MIP file. Again, we'll get into that when we start talking about the custom spec maps, and it will look something like this. Okay, you can see the difference as I turn it off and on, and that is the spec map data that needs to go to the system in order to tell the car and the game how to render that particular material. What you're seeing right now is just the baseline spec map that iRacing applies. To give you an example of kind of how you can organize these files and what I do, not to say that this is the only way, it's not, it's just my way. We'll go to this car right here, which is a Circuit City car for the 1987 Monte Carlo. You'll notice I have several files in here. I have one at the top, which is the numbers. If we go to the Paintable area folder, you can see where I have changed a few things in regard to the color change parts. The color change parts in this file were base black, but I didn't want them all black. I only wanted the Chevrolet bow tie white. So all I did, duplicate this file, create a mask over each of these, put a mask where the black was blacked out on this file, and on this file I did a color overlay of white to make this emblem white, and masked out the black Goodyears on the car. Again, just one thing you can do. One thing I highly recommend is separating your folders out. You'll still see the car patterns folder, which is completely empty because I got rid of the patterns. I didn't need them for this car, and it just helps to it's just house cleaning. I do have the base layer. You can see I have a stickers layer, and that folder has all the stickers in the car that were custom put on. You can also see the custom striping that was placed on the car has its own folder. And then you've got just, again, that base red paint. So this is a pretty simple build. Why I do that and why I highly recommend it is the flexibility that separating your stickers, your striping, your base color into different folders is when it comes to the Spec Map, guys. Okay, so let me turn this Spec Map on. Now, you'll see here in the red channel, okay, and in the green channel that I have copied all those files, numbers, stickers, stripes, patterns, to each channel. And this allows me to manipulate what the car materials will look like. So for an example, in this car, I have a particular setting that I use for stickers to kind of give it a bit more of a plastic look, to look like that it has been placed on the car. The red is a bit more shiny, and the white is a bit more of a matte. And to show you that, let me pull the car up, and now you can see what I'm referring to. So as you move the car around in the light, you can see the different reflective materials and how the light plays off of those materials based upon the information it has received from that Spec Map. So that red is pretty shiny. It's not exactly metallic quite. It's more kind of aluminum, I would say. But you can tell that the Circuit City stickers on here look like, well, stickers, which is what I want them to look like. And if you zoom in here a little bit to the white, you'll see that that has a bit more of a matte finish, so it's more of a flat white and doesn't start to have any sheen to produce, you know, it to make it go toward the chrome side, because white will go chrome. Again, just an example of what you can do once you get accustomed to using the paint template here in iRacing. I hope that gives you a general explanation of the folders, and in the coming videos we're going to start to get into what I do to paint and what you can do and some tips. So thanks for watching. If this video helped you, consider hitting that like button. It really helps the channel. You can also subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload any additional content. Follow me on Twitter to find out when I'm streaming. Thanks for watching.